Hello, Lloyd's back. How you doing? Today I'd like to talk about the Harbor Freight survival knife. Now, this knife I got from Harbor Freight. Paid $10 for it. For the price point, perfect. Um, got some use out of this knife. I really do like it. Now, I did some modifications to it. First thing I did was wrap it in this pattern tape, which it acts as grip tape. I don't care how wet this thing gets, it's not going to slip out of my hand. It's got a nice firm grip, which that's what I wanted. And also, I put a second knife on here. I was watching YouTube last night, and another guy, I forget his name, was showing that he clipped one of his case knives on here on the sheath, which I thought was an excellent idea. Now, this knife I have does not have a clip or a case, so I could not do that. It's just a belt holder, is what it is. It's a a holster sheath, and you put it on your belt loop. So I decided, well, how am I going to get this knife on this knife and function comfortably? Well, I have 100 zip ties I got from Harbor Freight for $2.99. Same place I got the knife. Which that's my favorite place. I go there anytime. I have some extra money I could spend for my survival stuff, and it's a perfect place. Now, what I did was put two zip ties. If you can see these, I put two zip ties to tie this knife, and I kind of flushed it with it. It's coming over just a little bit, so this way it's nice and comfortable. Everything matches up. And also put a hip strap from paracord so I could tie it on my hip so it's not clinking and clanking when I'm in the woods, not flipping and flopping around and clinking and clanking. So this way I could tie it to my hip. It's stable and ain't going nowhere. Now I am going to do another modification to this. I'm going to basically put two clips, adjust it so it clips on my hip comfortably. It doesn't move around. But yeah, the next adjustment I'm going to do is that, as far as modifications go. So also another thing I've noticed when I got the knife, it had a bunch of stuff in it. Just kind of like matches, buttons, some fishing line, some sewing string, kind of Rambo-ish stuff, which I already used the matches to melt some wax, so I got some use out of it. I used a couple of the buttons for a shirt, so I've already used that stuff, just for around the house. Now, another thing I want to, also another modification I made, and this is a cylinder. And if you notice, this cylinder is a shotgun shell. It's three. And it was at the 3 and 1 and 3. Yeah, no, I'm sorry. 2 3/4. Okay, I spent this round, and I thought this would be a perfect cylinder to put in this knife, and it is, and I'll show you why. The top here, where the compass is, on the top of the shotgun shell. Okay, it fits it perfectly. So I could screw this down in here like so. Okay, and it's not going anywhere. Okay, I need it again. I pull it out, and it's right on top. Okay, so I can put whatever I need in here. It doesn't hold a lot, but you have more room in the bottom of this cylinder here. So it only goes to right about here, and you got that much more space. You can put whatever you want, paracord, which I had paracord here, I took it out, but on top of this, if you want to put a small ferrocerium rod in here, that's fine. If you want to put one or two pieces of cotton balls, and then put a tube of Vaseline. What I mean by tube of Vaseline, take a straw, put the Vaseline in it, seal both ends with a pair of pliers. You apply heat, and it seals it. So just put it in here, put the top back on. Also, I've made it to where you can, it's got tape on the top, so when you pull it out, the stuff that's stuck on the top of here is going to come out with it. So it makes it more easier to get out of the cylinder. So this is my take on the modification, my own modifications to the Harbor Freight survival knife. I just wanted to share that. My big belief is recycling, reducing, reusing. Everything I have, I don't believe in throwing stuff away. I always keep stuff so I have it. So when I need, I have different projects. Now, this is not my primary two knives. Now, whenever I go out, if I'm going out camping, if I'm going out hiking, if I'm going out just to do a little bit of bushcrafting, what I do is I always carry me two primary knives. That's my number one rule. I make sure I have two knives. Now, I am going to start carrying this. I'll do that today. I'm going to do some batoning with it. I'm going to do some fire starting with this two combo knife, just to show you it actually works. The knife batons beautifully. And I'll show you how to baton with this knife, because I had been looking at reviews on this knife. Not a lot of people liking it because it's breaking the blade from the top of the hilt. Now, this is not a full tang knife. I don't suggest you hit, when you're batoning, you hit it right here at the base or at the top of the hilt. I don't suggest that, because it's just basically, there is a screw-in lock on there where you take a, I think it's the size is a size 3 hex key, and basically you twist it out and it unlocks this knife. You can use this blade for a spear if you're in a pinch. There's other applications you can do with this knife. As far as making a spear with it, that perfect idea. As long as you have paracord, or if you're going to use the nature elements, you're going to use different, you're going to make lashes or whatever to lash on a stick, that would work. I always carry at least 10 feet of paracord with me, or 20 feet of paracord, depending on what I'm doing that day. I always try to keep at least 20 feet of paracord in my day pack, or in this knife. If I'm going to start using this knife, I'm definitely going to be carrying at least 10 to 20 feet of paracord. And I'll definitely show another video sometime today on me using this knife and actually putting an application to it, so you can see that it is a pretty good knife. For the price point, for $10, it's not a bad buy. I've used this knife, I've batoned with this knife, but I want to show everybody else it can be done without breaking the knife and not being, everybody saying it's a piece of trash. For the price point, for $10, is not a bad knife at all. If you're going to get a full tang knife to baton with, that's great. I suggest you do that. Now, if you don't know how to baton with a knife like this, you need to learn first before you take it out and just beat the hell out of it. I know all these reviews are like, well, Well, you know what? I have no issue with the knife. Make some modifications to it, make it better, and I'll make it in my carry. What I'm going to do is, for the next 6 months, it being winter, I'm taking this knife out with me. So I'm going to do another review on this knife in 6 months to show you that as long as you take care of the knife, it is going to be durable. And now if you take it out and beat the hell out of it and try to break it, yeah, you'll break it. But if you know what you're doing with this knife, you should have no issue with it. The saw blade is perfect. I've sawed many tree branches with this. Now, the only problem is, when you got a diameter 3 to 4 inches, now that's another story. If I'm cutting something down with this blade, I'm going to be cutting between 1 to 2 inch or 2.5 inch, tree branches with this. I'm going to be sawing it. Now I have cut down smaller branches with just the blade at like a machete. Now I have a machete I carry with me, so but that's not my primary knife. That's just a machete I carry with me because it's good to have, especially when you're trying to get through thick bushings and um, trying to get through the woods, and you just it's some parts of the woods are impassable. You have to cut stuff down to get through it. So that is definitely my take on the Harbor Freight survival knife. My mods on this knife, and for $10 you can't beat it. So with that being said, I'm going to take it out today, and I'm going to put it under actual application to show you what this knife is capable of doing, and go from there. And as always, don't forget, recycle, reduce, and reuse. Y'all have a great day.